Hello, gamblers, and welcome back to the UFC 302 Sharp Action Report. It is pay-per-view fight week, and that means we are joined then the head risk manager, our boy Andrew from Super Book Sports. We're going to talk about the sharp, notable, and or public action from UFC 302. We're going to give you all the info that we can so that you can use that and try and lock in some good bets for tomorrow's fights. I will confess to you guys, I literally just got home from California, jumped my ass out the car, bought a Chipotle burrito that I haven't even had a chance to finish yet, plugged this camera in, and we are live. That's the level of dedication we're dealing with today. 9 hours in the car, and I'm here on a podcast with my boy Andrew. So everybody better hit the damn like button for me today. Andrew, my guy, how you doing? How you feeling?
Man, I'm really looking forward to this card. So I'm pretty excited. It's a busy time in the sports book with the NBA championship. We're already getting some of the NFL stuff ready, but obviously we're talking about UFC today. And man, this card is pretty exciting compared to the last few we've sat through, and us degenerates have just battled through. We get a real card now. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I wanted to thank you for always being so consistent. I'm sure your fans appreciate it, and you doing this every week, even when you're super busy, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot because I work hard on that. That was something that I think marked some of my early success, was the consistency that people were able to kind of latch onto, and I've tried to stick with it even when things are going crazy in life like they are today. But at any rate, I'm excited too. This is a good card. There's some decent name value. There's a couple of things that might be decent stakes in the division. There's a lot to talk about, but you guys don't come to this show for me. We will be shutting this down and going live almost immediately after this for the Undefeated Post-Weigh-In show, where I'll give you my final thoughts after watching the fighters weigh in and face off. But this show is about the sharp action. This show is all about my guy, Andrew. So I'm not going to preview these fights for you. If you want that, go on to Monday's podcast or hang out with me here in about 30, 45 minutes. But this show is going to be mostly about where the action has flown and a couple of sprinkled opinions in here from our guy. So first fight of the night, it looks like we've got short notice replacement Mitch Raposo taking on Andre Lima. Lima, the only guy that missed weight today. And this is a very interesting fight, in my opinion, man. A lot of people are really sold on Lima. Me, not so much just yet, but the price is getting bigger. What are you seeing across the table on this one?
Yeah, that definitely seems like the popular side of the week. We opened this fight at $2 on Lima. It shot all the way up to 280. We did get a pretty respected bet early on Lima at 230, and I kind of think that's what's keeping this price from coming down. But yeah, we're sitting 280 in Vegas, and really this is one of the more one-way action fights thus far. We haven't, even with the weight miss, I'm kind of surprised no one's taken any flyers on the dog here. But yeah, not too much to report. Not much to report as of late. We did get the early respected bet on Lima though. So that's where we're sitting here.
Okay. It makes sense. He's undefeated. There's the big sympathy for him getting bit in his last fight. Like, there's a lot of moving parts. So I totally understand, but I think this fight could play out a lot closer than that number suggests, man. But we'll see. We'll see. All right. Next up, Alien Perez taking on Jocelyn Edwards. Line's been ping-ponging just a little bit. I have picked a side, but you know me. No grungy women's MMA fight is too degenerate for me to gamble my money on. What are you seeing over there, though?
Yeah, this is actually a fight that I can say that we've wrote some money on the dog, and I think that's reflective in the price. So we opened this thing Perez minus 260. This one has shot all the way down to where we're sitting at 185 here in Vegas. And yeah, I would say there's been some decent action on Jocelyn Edwards here. And a couple of the guys in the back actually have wagers on her as well, thinking she's one of the more live dogs this week. I know we always talk about the big favorites, and you can kind of see it's been really reflective in the odd movement this week. These big favorites have just been juiced to the gills. And this is one fight that I can actually say has moved in the opposite direction, which is kind of uncommon for this card.
Okay, things you love to see. Yeah, man, I'm on the Jocelyn Edwards side here in this spot. Not a big bet, not a confident home run, put your, mortgage on it type of take, but glad to hear some of the sharps at least agree with me that she's live here in this spot. I'm not sold on Aileen Perez, and I think, her main income being the OnlyFans gig. I think she's a part-time fighter. So we'll see. We'll see how that works out. But I did like the abs that I saw on Jocelyn Edwards coming in here today. So fingers crossed on that bad boy. All right, everybody, moving right along. We've already got over 300 live viewers, so thank you all so much for being here, guys. My brain is still in like vacation mode, and I'm scrambling to get back into like work and podcast mode here, so bear with me. Thank you. Do me a favor and hit the like button if you're not following Andrew or Superbook Sports. Make that, support them as well. They've always been really good to us. Mickey Gall taking on Basil Hafez. We are back to the chalk, boys. We are back to those big parlayable price tags. Hafez is getting close to that minus 400 number, man. Talk to me about this fight.
Yeah, I mean, here he's actually sitting over $4. We opened this one up. This price is one of the biggest movers out of all of them on the card. We opened up Hafez at 280, and we're sitting 420 here. He's honestly been a very popular leg in parlays. We actually wrote a really, really big parlay with Hafez with Makhachev. So we have pretty big exposure in the parlay department on Hafez. And to tag along with that, when we were sitting at 280, we did get a big respected bet on Hafez. And I think it's pretty clear that the respected action has come in on that side, because you don't usually see a 200-cent move like this. But yeah, we're hoping Mickey Gall can do something special, but I'm not feeling too confident in this one. So we're not sitting too pretty on this fight as of now.
Okay. Tough times, man. Yeah, and the comment from the chat that even Mickey Gall bet Hafez makes sense, man. This is a tough one. We'll see. You never know. Sometimes those guys in their second UFC fight, they don't quite live up to the hype. He is coming off a loss. I think he should be the favorite. Minus 420, yeah, that may be a little much. I don't know about that, but I also don't know that I'm going to make it to the window with Mickey Gall. Phil Rowe takes on Jake Matthews.
Sorry, what was that? You got to find where people are comfortable betting the dog, and as we've moved this up, there hasn't been people coming to the window like crazy to bet Mickey Gall as of yet. But yeah, we've worked our best to try to write some action back, but that's kind of how this thing works. I mean, we've done this song and dance before. You've seen it.
Yes, sir. Hey, I went to war with my brother, Anthony Smith, when no one else wanted to bite. That worked out pretty okay. I'm not related to Mickey Gall, though, so I don't think we're going to get there. All right, man. Phil Rowe, Jake Matthews, one of the more closely lined fights. Another ping-pong in number from around the week. Started pretty close and got a little closer, and now it's getting wide again. Like, talk to me about this one. What's going on?
Yeah, this one too. Like, a lot of these fights have bounced around, but it ends up where the favorite has just continued moving up as the week has gone on. So we opened up Jake Matthews at 140. We're currently sitting 180 in Vegas. At 150, we did take another very big respected bet on Matthews, and we've kind of done our best to just move the market a little bit and write some money back on Phil Rowe. And I'll be honest, we've done a good job with this one, because I think there's some stronger opinions on the Phil Rowe side, for sure. So it hasn't been as much of a struggle on this fight to write action back. But as of now, we still do need Phil Rowe.
Okay. Still need the dog. And are you guys positioning yourselves? Are you guys hoping to end up needing the dog? Is that where you like to be, or are you guys thinking you want to end up needing Matthews?
Well, generally, if there's sharp action, we do our best to line ourselves with the favorite or whoever the sharp side is. But when you're sitting in a card where a lot of these favorites have been juiced up and they're in parlays, in the end of the day, we're probably still going to need the dog, no matter what kind of work we do with all the parlays. You can't really track how much we're going to lose unless these parlays hit, right? So we've done our best to write some Phil Rowe money, we would like to need Jake Matthews because that's where we see the respected action has been. But me personally, I think Phil Rowe has a shot in this fight. So it's not a dog that I hate.
Yeah, man. Usually I'm sitting here pounding my chest, excited that you guys want to need the side that I like, and don't like hearing that we're wanting to need Jake Matthews here, because I'm on the Phil Rowe side already. So it makes me a little bit nervous for sure. But hey, any dog is a good dog on these types of chalky cards here.
Of course.
Next up, a dog I'm sure you'll need. Grant Dawson and Joe Solecki. What's going on here, man?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It sucks that I have to do the same spiel on a lot of these. But we opened this one up at $3 on Grant Dawson. It really has been one-way action. It hasn't been crazy on this fight, but we're sitting 550 now. So
Yeah.
even if we aren't the book who is getting all this respected action on Grant Dawson, just reading the market, it certainly looks like that's where most of the sharp money is. So this is another one that's kind of just inched its way up all week, and we're kind of just waiting for a big bet on Solecki, and hopefully that can kind of bring the price back down. But yeah, this one is another one. Unlike the Phil Rowe fight, we just haven't been able to write money back, honestly.
Gotcha. All right, man. Makes sense to me. I like the Dawson side myself, and it's hard to make an argument for Solecki, except that Grant Dawson got, bonked on the chin in his last fight. That's kind of the only argument I feel like you can make, and I don't think Joe's a guy that's gonna double up that performance here. So I can see this one being a tough spot to get dog money.
Yeah, for sure. We know one of these big favorites is gonna shit the bed. I mean, you do your little Twitter polls. It feels like almost every single time one of them just blows. So hopefully we
Yep.
can get one of these $5 or higher to lose.
Absolutely, man. It'll happen. And hey, it might be the next one. Jailton Almeida, Alexander Romanov, a couple of big old boys in there who like grappling, man. I am not sold on Jailton Almeida at heavyweight. Never have been. But dear God, this Romanov guy has only got about 4 minutes worth of cardio. So how's this one playing out? What do you need here?
Yeah, this is a more entertaining fight from a booking perspective because this is one where it's really bounced around because there's been leans on both sides. I won't say overly
Mhm.
sharp leans, but I've seen good action on Romanov, and I've seen some people who still are believing in Almeida. I will admit I was drinking the Kool-Aid, but when we did the podcast last time when he fought Curtis Blades,
Mhm.
just reading the market and everything that went into that fight, I knew that was not going to be a pretty one for my guy Almeida. But I'm hoping he can right the wrongs and get this one back. But it also wouldn't be a bad thing if we got the Romanov side for the book.
Okay. Good deal and good luck. Cesar Almeida takes on Roman Kopylov. I got in on Cesar Almeida as a dog. He is climbing here as the favorite now. And I'll be honest with you, man, this one makes no sense to me. I'm not a bookmaker. I'm a gambler. I'm not a guy that sets the lines. I try to take advantage of them. I would have set Cesar Almeida somewhere in the ballpark of minus 180. I don't get why he was the dog in the first place. And I don't understand, even now at near pick'em, he's not just rapidly spreading the distance here as far as becoming a bigger favorite. This one baffles me. Maybe you can shed some light. Maybe I'm not sure what's going on here, but I think this line is backwards when it opened, and I think backwards by a mile. I think there's tons of value on it still here, even at the minus 125, minus 130 ballpark where we're sitting.
Man, I couldn't agree with you more. This one has been, from a
Okay.
booking perspective, this has just been such a crazy fight to book because I don't know why it's this fight, but this one has really gotten people going. Like, there's very, very strong opinions on both sides. Like you said, we did open Kopylov, the favorite. Almeida was sitting plus 130, and now he's sitting minus 125. You usually don't see a cross in the favorites that wide. Like that's a pretty large move for a fight that was close to a pick, So
Yep.
yeah, we did get a very respected bet early on Almeida. That is no longer the price where you're getting that plus 130, plus 120. So we've done our best to write Kopylov money back after we got that respected action. And yeah, this has been a fight where it has not been a struggle at all. People um, are all over Kopylov, and we've still been getting Almeida bets at minus 125, minus 130. So we're just trying to balance the books here and put ourselves in the best situation to need Almeida at the end of the day. And yeah, like I said, there's some of the guys in the book who are like banging the drum on Kopylov, and they're like, let's not go crazy with this one. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I kind of like the Almeida side, but it does seem like that's the popular side for most people. So we'll see. I'm rooting for Almeida
Yeah.
here.
I'm with you, man. I got a big bet on Almeida. I'm probably going to add more. This is one of those ones where, like I said, I just do not understand. And I know a lot of people, I think Robelis de Spain did us a big favor in this spot because everybody was so high on him and he got outed. And now everyone's looking at this guy going, he's a fraud too. And I just don't think they're the same guy. You know what I mean? I think
No.
one guy is legitimately not ready for MMA and didn't take half the MMA game seriously in the grappling department. This guy did, though. You know what I mean? So like I think we're getting maybe a gift because of that whole situation, but we will find out. Glad to hear there's good two-way action on that one. You guys won't have to sweat too much, at least for that fight. Randy Brown takes on Solecki dos Santos. Another semi-live dog, in my opinion, here on this spot. But man, I've told everybody all week I can't pick a Randy Brown fight to save my mother's soul. Like if if I'm not, I would rather play the fiddle against the devil to save my mom's soul than pick the right side of a Randy Brown fight. I've got a better chance of picking up the fiddle for the first time and getting that one done. What are you seeing as far as booking goes on this one?
So yeah, this is another fun one. Honestly, this isn't one that has been a struggle for us because I think a lot of people agree with you. They think the dog has a good chance. Early on, we did get respected bet on Randy Brown when the price was sitting at 150. I'm not sure if it was. I mean, it's from sharp customers that usually don't bet the UFC, but I feel like they knew the market was going to end up going in the Randy Brown direction. So we did get those early bets on Randy Brown, but there hasn't been a real struggle to get that Dos Santos money. We're currently sitting 185 on Randy Brown. We'll probably need the Dos Santos side, but we've done our best to kind of get in line with the sharp action and just get ahead of this move on all the favorites. So yeah, we're sitting all right on this one. This is not one where we're going to lose the farm or anything crazy.
All right. All right. So I missed the middle of that. Sorry, guys. I noticed apparently while we were packing, the wife unplugged the cord here. We almost lost the show midstream because I was like, oh shit, we've got like 10% battery on the laptop here while we're doing this. So got it plugged in. Disaster averted. Second time that's happened this week. This one wasn't my fault though. This one was the wife's problem, not mine. Anyway, I'm glad you guys are looking okay, and I'm hoping the people in the chat got all the info that they needed there on that fight because I missed the middle of it. It's okay. I'll go back and I'll rewatch it. Nico Price and Alex Morono up next. Man, I got to tell you, Andrew, this one bothers me to my core because I was the one who was getting called an idiot. I was the one who was being told how stupid I was for thinking Alex Morono was a good fighter, for thinking Alex Morono was well-rounded and he had a serviceable skill set and he wasn't a bum. I got mocked for that take. And now here we are a couple of years down the road. He's got some pretty damn good wins. He's gotten some pretty notable wins. And now he's a minus 200, minus 250 favorite at every other fight instead of being pick 'em or plus money. And that's where I'm going, okay, I had the read early, but now that everyone's on it, the big numbers scare me. He's not a guy that I want to be betting at minus 200, minus 250. He's a guy I want to be betting at minus 115. He's a guy I want plus 105 on. You know what I mean? That's the range I like having my money on Alex Morono. This fight scares me, especially because they are running it back and Price won the first time. So I know a lot has changed, but the fact that Nico knocked this guy out the last time they were stuck in a cage together, I'm like, God, the guy's plus 210. Like how? Why? Again, one that I'm super nervous of. What do you guys need from a booking perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie. I feel like most people agree with you because this is one of the fights that surprisingly hasn't wrote that much action. It seems like this is one of the best
Mm,
lines that we put up. We put it up at 250. It's sitting 260. You got to wonder what the price would have been uh, before that Robbie Lawler fight. Like, I really do wonder.
yeah.
I mean, he's getting a ton of respect, Morono, now. So it's sitting 260. I won't. There really hasn't been anything too respected on either side. I would say there's a lot of parlays with Moreno in it, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised now that we're sitting at a 2-1 price on Nico Price that we haven't really seen anything too crazy on that. So hopefully we get some more bets on this fight, but it feels like one of the prices that maybe we actually got right.
Okay. All right. Good to hear. I'm not sure who to cheer for. I've liked both these guys for a long time, so this one's going to be tough. And especially when these fighters get towards the point they're taking, scary knockouts to close out their career, you kind of cover your eyes watching
Yeah.
the next one. So I'm nervous for both guys going in this week. Kevin Holland takes on Michel Oleksiejczuk, and Holland has been steadily taking money here in this spot, and I think that makes sense. This is one of the big favorites I'm not going to be poking a hole in, and I'm sure you guys are going to need all the Oleksiejczuk love you can get your hands on.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right on this one. So this was a later one that was added to the card, so we haven't had as much shelf life on this one. We opened up Holland at 250, and this is one where I was as quick as possible to get out ahead on this one because I knew it would be a struggle to write money on the dog in this fight. So we're sitting 340 here. We haven't got very many straight bets on Holland, which is a good thing in my opinion because I think Holland is going to take care of business here. But I will say he is one of the legs in the parlays, and he is one of the biggest liabilities that we have in the parlay department out of all these
Mm,
fights because it just feels like no one is giving very much respect to the dog. I feel like me doing my job, I got out as quick as I could on this,
mm.
but you can't make people bet, So nothing overly respected, but I feel like we did a good job getting out ahead on this one. And if we can get the dog, it would be massive to bust those parlays. But yeah, I think Holland rolls here.
Okay. Yeah, man, I'm right there with you. I could not agree more. I think this is a spot where the UFC's kind of throwing the kid a bone. You know what I mean? He took a couple of tough fights, a couple short notice spots, a couple close decisions he's on the wrong side of. He's a team player. They like him. I kind of think this is a spot where they're like, hey, you can beat this guy. Go get him. But we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. I think that's a leg that probably is not going to be the parlay buster. All right,
Yeah.
guys, co-main and main events of the evening. Sean Strickland takes on Paulo Costa. Strickland, everybody's favorite this week. The man has taken off like a rocket ship, and I'm still not sure exactly why. But in this spot, I am a little off the beaten path as per usual. Got a bit of a hot take. But what do you need as far as a booking perspective goes, man? What do you like here?
Honestly, there hasn't been, I mean, for the name value that Sean Strickland has really turned his career around, and he's one of the bigger stars in the sport now. The action hasn't been overly crazy on this fight. He is definitely the more popular side out of the two fighters. With the parlays, there's been some straight bets on him, but this is another one. I know you're on the Costa side here, and I'm very surprised that we haven't gotten any respected or big bets or big shots on Costa because you usually don't see Strickland sitting at this price. And Costa's no bum. Like I think they're kind of the market's not really respecting
Mm-hmm.
Costa here. So I kind of agree with you. I'm still patiently waiting to see if we do get one of those last minute bets while the price keeps moving up. We opened Strickland at 220. We're sitting 260. Like I said, most of the actions come in on Strickland, and yeah, we're just really waiting on a bigger bet on Costa, and maybe that will shift the market a little bit.
Okay. All right. I'll be honest with you, man. I don't think you're going to get it. Unfortunately, believe it or not, I'm not the big guy. So my bet is not going to shift the market. But I do like the Costa side. I think this is probably going to be a closer fight than the numbers would suggest. We will see how that plays out. You guys know I'm not afraid to look like an idiot taking a long shot. Sometimes I cash an Anthony Smith ticket. Other times, I don't. So there's plenty of occasions where my underdog pulls what was his name? JP buys and just gets nuked in the first 30 seconds. It happens. It happens. You got to take that risk sometimes. All right, main event, man. Islam Makhachev and Dustin Poirier. I am all ears. What is happening as far as the notable action on this fight? Because I have seen some takes, man. I know Dustin Poirier is a popular guy, and especially with coming off of him lighting up Benoit Saint-Denis the way he did. I got to think he's getting some love. But then you've got the Russian infantry and you've got Islam Makhachev, Khabib's son, the next great thing. The picture of Khabib with like the game controller with Islam and the belt wrapped around his waist. Like I can see, like, you could tell me anything as far as the bets go here and it would not surprise me. I can't wait to hear what's going on.
Yeah, this one is pretty crazy because we put this fight up quite a while ago, and I can say the number is not what we thought it would be. We opened Islam up at 350, so it's basically doubled since then. We're sitting $7 now on Islam Makhachev. I mentioned it earlier with the Hafez. Islam is in that parlay. That is a very large wager. So to start it off, that was something that really we were trying to push and get ahead of all this parlay liability.
Mm-hmm.
We already started off with that massive wager. But yeah, we're sitting $7 now. That's a massive move. And I really don't understand how at this price you could still be interested in Islam. I mean, I really do think he's going to win, but you're getting a 5-1 shot on Dustin Poirier at this point, which seems crazy. Maybe we were just that wrong on the price at 350 because clearly that ain't the right price. Yeah, and then we did get a decent sized wager on the under as well. I know I haven't mentioned any totals in this card, but yeah, that was one of the more sizable total bets. There's one guy I wish I could have forced to bet on some of these fights, but I don't have any of his bets this week, and I apologize. I hate coming on the show without any of his bets because we do a lot better at the book when he bets. So yeah, I apologize.
We're gonna have to get the Las Vegas PD involved, man. Put an APP out on the big guy. Where's he at? Where'd he go?
I did tell you he did bet a fight that just got canceled today. He did bet Jake
postponed.
Yeah, yeah, postponed. So I do know he's alive. He did bet Jake Paul, and yeah, I'm just waiting to see some UFC bets, man. It's really helpful for my booking when we have his action. So yeah, I apologize.
I'm just really happy that the athletic commission decided not to murder a national treasure like Mike Tyson on camera for $59.99 pay-per-view. I think that was a positive choice. I think they made the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked that I'll be honest, there's a few guys in the back who are not into the UFC or boxing that much, but they cannot stop talking about the Tyson Jake Paul fight. And I'm like, I just can't believe it. I'm just like, everyone is intrigued. Yeah, and like the action on that fight that when we put it up has been insane. So, I mean, I'm not really into it because I think it's kind of wrong, but I won't lie to you, I would still watch it. So
we're gonna watch it if it's on. We'll watch it.
I can't say that much about it. So.
Man, that's one of those tough ones because like I honestly believe that Jake Paul is accurate when he says that he's done more for boxing than anybody in the last 20 years. Because from a hardcore perspective, we're here every week. He's not talking about us. Like you said, there's people that will not shut up about it who aren't part of the normal crowd. Those are the people that he's hooking. Every single one of these freak show fights. Whatever he's doing works, man. I'm not ready to watch Mike Tyson die. That's all. I'm hoping that fight doesn't get rebooked.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you 100%.
All right, man. Hey, we do have a question in the chat. Could you please repeat the big booked action parlay, all the legs? What was the full parlay for that one?
That one was only a two-legger. It had Hafez and Islam Makhachev.
Okay.
That was a very large wager we took pretty early on. So yeah, I think that's what shifted the Islam price pretty quickly.
Okay. Hafez and Islam is the big two-legger that they took this week. Folks, that is the Sharp Action Report for this week. Like I mentioned, my guy Andrew, Superbook Sports, please check them out. Please give him a follow on Twitter. He's always tweeting out juicy little nuggets when big bets come in, especially like tomorrow morning. If the big guy rolls up and puts a bet down before these fights kick off, he may tweet about it. So he's a good follow to have on Twitter. He's an entertaining guy as well. So make sure you show him some love and some support. Guys, I still have half a burrito here. It's cold, but I'm going to scarf it real quick, and then I will be back and live immediately following this for the Undefeated Post Weigh-In show. So give me just 15, 20 minutes, and then we'll be hitting the live button on that show to recap the weigh-ins and the face-offs. Andrew, thank you so much for doing this with me, man. I always love it. Always love hanging out and chatting with you. Any promos? Tell the people where to go, what they can do, if there's anything they need to know.
Yeah, John wanted us to get up a bunch of boosts for this card, so we're doing some extra ones. Even in Nevada, if you're a Nevada resident, we have some boosts in that app as well. So yeah, keep an eye out on those. Those will go up tomorrow morning. I always appreciate you having me on, man.
Hell yeah, man.
It's so much fun to talk fights with you, and I think, like I said earlier, I really appreciate you just keep grinding these things out even when you're freaking busy as hell.
It's what I do. It's what I do. Built different, baby. Hey, when are you going to drag John's ass back on the show? When are we going to make him make an appearance and show his face on here for one of these?
I'll be honest, dude. I don't really get to see him that much. He's still at the Westgate, and since we moved into all these states, we work in a big office space now. So I don't get to see him as much. And
we can do a three-way call. We can do a video.
We should, dude. We should. He's one of the smartest guys in the UFC betting industry. I really do believe that. So whenever he has a strong opinion, I use it.
All right. How's this? Maybe float this one by him. The McGregor fight? Maybe he joins us for the show for the McGregor fight.
Oh, I love it. I'll text him about that. That would be fun. I'm gonna ask him for tickets too, because I've been in the Superbook for 4 years and he still hasn't taken me out to a damn fight.
You deserve tickets to that one, man. You go get those tickets. But see if he's interested. Maybe the people get a special treat. John Murray will come on the show maybe for the McGregor fight. That'd be fun.
Yes, sir. I'll be the first to reach out to him.
Hell yeah. All right. Thank you guys again. Like I said, gonna scarf some food. We'll see you in 15, 20 minutes. Stick around. I've already booted up the stream. So there is a link right here on Home of Fight for the Undefeated Post Weigh-In show. If you guys want to just chill and wait for me for a minute, we'll be over there in just a few. Thank you guys and good luck on all your action this week. Let's roll.